Hello and very warm welcome to this week's Friday Focus. Today I'd like to ask you the question, have you ever actually cleaned out your brain? Like, have you ever actually taken all the crap that's going around in your head, taking it out of your head, cleaned it up, and then decided what you're going to put back in? Like, have you ever actually done that? Because some people wouldn't actually allow their space, allow their house to get really dirty. You know, like we generally dust regularly, hoover regularly, wash our clothes, wash our bodies, wash our cutlery and our utensils and our pots and pans and plates. Some more than others, but we know to stay hygienic and healthy, we have to keep our space clean. And our hands and our bodies clean. We also know that depending on what we put into our body can make us feel clean. So you will know the types of foods that make you feel good and the types of food that make you feel Whether you actually listen to that advice is a whole other chat. But how often do you actually clean out your mind? How often do you actually think about what you're thinking? And I'm going to suggest either you've never done that or you do it occasionally, like when it really gets crappy, possibly, or maybe you're trying to avoid it. So just like a cupboard, if you imagine your wardrobe, you keep putting I don't really know what to do with that, I'll shove that in the cupboard. Oh, I don't really know what to do that, I'll shove that in the cupboard. Oh, I don't really know what to do that, I'll shove that in the cupboard. And you kind of push the cupboard doors shut. It doesn't go away. Like that crap, that old stuff that you don't know what to do with doesn't go away until you open the doors, take it out, and actually decide, right, I'm either getting rid of it, I'm going to give it to charity, I'm going to bin it, or I'm going to find a home for it and put it back in. Very few of us do this with our minds. And what's really fascinating is that you will have sentences in your head that you think are true. So when you're talking, you will think you are quite literally explaining the news, the facts. For example, oh, isn't it miserable out today if it's raining? Or, what an amazing day if it's hot. I love using the weather as an example of how our thoughts create our feelings, because I'm looking at the weather forecast for this coming week. Looks amazing. Bright sunshine, 23 degrees, and I'm thinking, this is going to be ace. Love it. And that makes me feel good. It makes me feel buoyant. I feel boosted. But a friend of mine does not like the heat. So she will be looking at next week's forecast and going, oh my God, it's going to be so hot. She's going to be feeling a little bit miserable. How is it possible that the sun or the weather makes two different human beings feel so different? Because of how we interpret it. But it's not until we look at those thoughts and we become aware of what we're saying to ourselves or out loud to others that we realise those thoughts are optional. So other thoughts that you might be having are things like, I'm not clever enough. Oh my goodness. My brain tries to tell me all the time, I'm not clever enough. I have done a lot of work on this belief, and it's got to the point now that that sentence isn't going to go, but I don't believe it anymore. I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but actually, I can sort out quite a lot of shit. I can actually figure most things out. So in my own way, I am clever. You might be thinking, I'm not good enough. Says who? Who says what good is? Like, who says what good is? You get to decide what good is. You get to believe whatever you want. Other thoughts might be, I need a glass of wine to relax. Do you? You can't possibly relax in any other way. Another one I hear quite a lot is, I can't sit still and relax. I can't sit down and do nothing. Like, let's actually look at that one at the moment, for a minute. Your body is able to sit and not move. Like, your body can actually do that. So that thought, I can't sit and do nothing, is a lie. That thought of, I'm not good enough, is a lie. That thought of, I'm not clever enough, is a lie. Just like when our brain tells us, it'll make me feel better. The chocolate will make me feel better. It doesn't. Maybe for a split second, but not in the long term. And actually, you can relate this to any external thing. The holiday will make me feel better. And yes, whilst you're on holiday, it's amazing. But that only lasts for 1 or 2 weeks. When you actually get into your head and you start to become aware of the thoughts that you're having, you can clear your head out. You can do your housekeeping so that you're not happy, because we can't possibly be happy all the time. But once you learn that mind management, you then never need to escape your life. You just go on a holiday because you want to, not because you need a break. You can have the chocolate because you want to, not because you need to have it to try and feel better. You could just sit with a pint on a summer's evening and enjoy the pint just for what it is, not having to need the pint. So when we learn to clean up our thinking, just like we clean the rest of our bodies, it gives us a really healthy base to manage the rest of our life. Because you could have the most physically fit, strong body, but if you're mentally dirty, I don't mean that quite how it sounds, but and especially if your thoughts have just now gone down to the gutter, come back up, stay with me. We make sure that we are physically fit and healthy and active, some of us, most of us. But we don't ever ensure our physical, our like mental fitness. And yet that is so much more beneficial to our whole life. And the best way that I know to do this is by talking to somebody. So life coaches are phenomenal at this because your friends and your family are amazing. If you don't have anyone to talk to, just talking to somebody is better than not talking at all. But talking to somebody who is completely unattached, who is completely non-judgmental, and who is completely neutral to the topic of conversation is so cleansing for your head. It is so refreshing for your mind and your body, just to become aware of the crap that's in your head and notice that actually most of it is optional. You don't have to believe the thoughts that your brain gives you, but you have to start being aware and cleaning it out first to know what you're dealing with. So if you're ready to do a bit of a spring clean in your head, if you've had enough of feeling like crap because of the sentences that you're telling yourself, please get in touch with me. Just send me a message, because I can help you become the best version of yourself. Because it's there, you just need to have the courage to access it. You just have to have the courage and take that bold step to get in touch. I cannot wait to meet you. Have an amazing day. Bye.